Hey, this is Scott, and this is the first video of a series of videos looking at the Godox TT685 speedlight side by side with the Canon 600EX RT. If you're new to this channel, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my other videos and subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Thanks to Pergear for supplying the Godox speedlight and accessories for this review. I'll put their link down below, so be sure to check it out. I'll be putting it head to head with my own Canon 600EX RT. I'll be breaking this up into 4 or 5 videos and put them in a playlist, so be sure to check that out. I'll put the link on screen somewhere now, as well as in the description below, and of course you can find it on my videos page. In this first video, we're going to talk about the basics and overall build quality of the Godox TT685 side by side with the Canon 600EX RT. Currently, the Mark I version of the 600EX RT is about $550 new on Amazon and somewhere between $300 and $400 used. There's also a Mark II version available. The Godox TT685C, which is the Canon version that I have, is just over $100, and you can even get it in a kit with the wireless transceiver for just over $150. There's also a Nikon and Sony version available. The Canon's wireless transceiver alone cost over $200, and while both the transceiver and the speedlight may be very slightly better than the Godox, I think that most of the extra features that the Canon offers are kind of icing on the cake type features, and I don't believe that they're worth the extra money against the Godox. I will say right up front that value for money definitely goes to the Godox in this case. That's not to say that the Canon speedlight is bad. I mean, I own it myself. But a lot of the features that it offers that the Godox doesn't, I highly doubt that they'll be necessary for a lot of people who are looking at these two flashes. If you're looking to buy a whole range of flashes, or if you just like saving money, then you might want to think about buying the Godox instead of the Canon. I've used some other brands of budget flashes in the past as well, and I never really loved them, which is why I personally have the Canon version at the moment. But this Godox light is really great, and I'm actually really enjoying using it, and I would definitely recommend it without hesitation. But let's jump into the details to see why and let you make a choice for yourself. Touching on the cases, most people may not care, but they both do come with cases, of course. The Canon's is very slightly more padded and has a few more little extra things on the outside, like a Velcro strap on the back and hooks on the side where you can attach a strap. They both also come with little stands, which are nearly identical except in their shape. Taking an overall look at the bodies, the Canon is very slightly larger and very slightly heavier. There are some slight design differences, but overall, the layout is very similar, as is the build quality. Getting a bit more into detail, when you look at the ports that each of these has to offer, the Godox has the power supply socket on the front and the Canon on the side. As a small note that some people may or may not care about, the Godox port cover does not spin around to move out of the way when you open it. The Godox has a wireless control port for the older FT16S transceiver, a sync cord jack, and a micro USB port. The cable is not included. Canon has a remote release terminal, an external power source socket, a PC terminal, and a bracket mounting hole, which Godox does not have. Looking at the back, again they're very similar. Canon has the lock mode built into the switch, while Godox's is a secondary button function. Canon also has a link light and a flash exposure confirmation lamp, which can be very useful. The wheel on the back of the Canon is slightly stiffer and more kind of clicky. This could be good or bad depending on you, but I personally like the Godox, which is easier to use, maybe easier to accidentally change as well if you don't lock it, so just be aware of that. The buttons on the Canon are very slightly more recessed into the body, but they're both good feeling and easy to push. Looking on the other side, the battery door design is different. Canon's has a button that you slide to the side and then slide the cover open. It springs open and stays open. Feels smooth and very high quality, of course. Godox just slides down and then you have to push it open, but it does stay in place. It's a bit stiffer than the Canon, but it doesn't feel cheap like I have heard some people say. Looking at the flash head, the movement range is identical. Both are a full 180 degrees in both directions, and they can tilt from 90 degrees to -7 degrees. With Canon, you have to push the button to release it from the standard positions, and then it clicks into each position freely with solid and audible clicks. The Godox does not have the push button, and it will move freely anytime. It clicks into place when you're moving it vertically, but the turning motion does not make click noises. The rubber grip on the side of the Canon extends to the top, and it's a bit more grippy. The bounce card and wide panel seem to be pretty much identical. Both of them zoom from 20mm to 200mm and 14mm with the wide panel. Canon also has a feature which can auto-detect and adjust the zoom for smaller sensors, which is not available on the Godox as far as I know. Finally, Canon has a color filter sensor because it does come with filters, while Godox does not. Looking at the bottom of the flashes, at the hot shoe connector, This is the one and possibly only area that I significantly like the Canon more than the Godox in terms of its build. Canon has a rubber dust and water seal around the foot and it locks into place with a button and a slide. Godox has the simpler and more common turning lock style. However, it's one of the better in that design that I've experienced. The wheel is big and easy to turn and it feels well built. As I mentioned, the Godox has a micro USB port, which means that you can update its firmware from the Godox website, which you cannot do for the Canon. You have to send it to the service center if you decide to do that. We'll talk about this more in another video, but both of these flashes can be controlled wirelessly. So that's about it for the overall build quality and layout on the outside of these flashes. Again, I will get into the light output, the menu system, and the wireless controls in some other videos. I'll make them into a playlist, and I'll put the link on screen now in the description below, and of course you can find it on my video page. I'll also put the links to these speedlights in the description below, so be sure to check that out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Give me a thumbs up if you found this useful, and as always, thanks for watching.